Hello and welcome back to Hugh Loving Life. I'm Michelle and I'm really excited to talk about another spiritual law and explain exactly what is karma. So many people say, oh, they're going to get their karma, but there's so much more to it that you might not know or consider, but you should know because it will affect you throughout eternity because you're an eternal soul having a very temporary human experience. So I'm going to read the exact law. And it states from the Spiritual Laws of Life by Harold Klemp, the law of cause and effect, action and reaction, justice, retribution, and reward, which applies to the lower or psychic worlds, those being the physical, where we inhabit this body, the astral, which is the next level up, and you often go there when you fall asleep, the causal, which is where the Akashic records are stored, which are the records that hold every past life you've ever had, every incarnation, the mental and etheric planes. So that happens, the karma happens in the lower worlds. Anything fifth dimension and above is the higher worlds where it's pure love. Okay, the law of karma, yet another facet of the law of love. It purifies people by holding them responsible for all of their thoughts and all of their deeds. Yes, I said that, even thoughts. What? Yeah, both to themselves and others. Meaning having pure love thoughts or better thoughts about yourself too. We should never talk badly about ourselves. It's important to love yourself. That's the law of love, right? It's so funny because people say love your neighbors as you love yourself, but so many people don't even love themselves. So how in the world could they possibly love their neighbors? And if they love them as they love themselves, that could be really bad, right? In the lower worlds, being again the physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, cause and effect, is in force. You must know how to live under it. The law of cause and effect and the experiences that derive from your understanding or your lack of understanding of that law also bring to you a realization or an acceptance of divine love. So you also are held accountable even if you don't know the law. I'm going to give you an idea of how to reestablish your relationship with Spirit, Ek, beginning with the very fundamental question of what is right and what is wrong. This is from Sri Doug Kunin. First, we have to look at cause and effect. Then you can go to the next level, which is understanding your relationship with Ek or Spirit and finding God's love. Until you know or have a rule for yourself of what is right and what is wrong, you're going to find yourself having unnecessary problems in any path that you take to God. So until you know what is right and what is wrong, it doesn't matter what path you're on, you're going to have problems. So knowing what's right, what's moral. I have another video talking about Mayberry's 2 laws, about you do unto others as you would have them do to you, right? That's one of them. You can check out that video if you're interested. The universality of the law of karma is one of the chief factors which binds life together. It's universal. It's for everyone, and even multi-universal. And not only human life, but animal, plant, and mineral life as well. Wow, even they have karma. All those compose one big family with a complicated and inseparable history and inseparable karma. Okay, so you're having many incarnations occupying the energy, putting your soul awareness into the energy of an animal, into the energy of a crystal. Yeah, even crystals are alive if you guys have them, right? That's why when you talk to plants, they become happier and healthier. I talk to my plants all the time, and I feel they look better than the average plant. Honestly, they look really good. So talk to your plants. Now, when I didn't do that, they weren't thriving as much. So I have experimented. All right, by and large, the Lord of Karma, not the individual, is responsible for selecting the family through which soul enters the physical plane. Yes, I've spoken of the Lords of Karma. They're real. Check out Michael Newton, PhD, Journey of Souls. It explains what happens in the in-between lifetimes perfectly well. And it is also something that Eckankar refers to, if you're an Eckist watching this. Like a guardian who administers a trust on behalf of an infant, he, the Lords of Karma, arranges for soul to join a family which offers the best prospect for spiritual unfoldment. So that doesn't necessarily mean ease. Sometimes you can join a family that's very difficult, but you're unfolding faster. In making that selection, he is under no obligation to consider the feelings or imagined rights of the person so involved. Placement is a simple matter. The law of karma, which governs such stationing, is law. It must be obeyed. So if there's someone who was incredibly, let's say, abusive in another lifetime, they're going to have to experience what it is to be born into an abusive family. It's just law, guys. If there's someone who's greedy and they don't give to anyone, they steal from people, they take advantage of people who don't have much, make them work like horses in the olden days, and even now, they're going to have to come back and experience another tyrant like themselves. So if you are watching this and you're doing that, you have a company or government or whatever it is, know that you will come back and you will be the people that you're hurting. Destiny controls the conditions at birth. Much of what an individual does after that is an exercise of free will. Free will may overcome the conditions of destiny, but first one must awaken his creative talents, through which he can then reshape his spiritual and material life. So yes, you're dropped off in the body of whoever, according to the Lords of Karma, good or bad, right? But then you are totally free, okay, to be creative, to do whatever it is you can to improve your situation. To sum it up, fate governs the conditions at a person's birth. Free will allows a choice as to how he will move within and beyond them. There simply is no such thing as righteous anger. The Ek doesn't recognize any distinctions between anger for a cause and for no cause. So people who are all into causes and saying it's righteous and they should be mad because this dictator or that dictator, here to tell you, the law of karma is the law and anger is unjustifiable. So you can feel anger, but acting out of it and in a negative way is not okay, and it will stick with you in a negative way. Through the law of karma, the Ek impartially doles out justice whenever there is any imbalance of the emotions. So trying to stay in that Vairag detached state of being is the best way to be. So you can be detached but lovingly detached. So you don't jump into conversations that are heated and throw your 2 cents in when someone's arguing about, I don't know, politics, religion, or sex, or the 3 things. You just don't even go there, because you will get muddied and dirty with the pigs, right? If you go into pig pen, you get dirty. So if there's people that are really angry, you don't want to be jumping in with them into their, causes of anger. Even if it's something that they're talking about, which is an atrocity. Okay, why don't you quietly walk away and go and put some kind of donation to something that you trust towards that cause, or go send love from your heart to the people that are suffering. But to fight with people and just to complain is literally adding fuel to the negative fire, and not only the world over, but to your own soul, because that is imbalanced. When someone wants to be a healer and then takes on another's illness, this karma from the other person was earned. Uh-oh. It is often because the individual did not know the laws of spirit, or perhaps was under the control of one of the 5 passions of the mind, such as greed, anger, lust, attachment, or vanity. That is what causes our karma. So you often hear about, let's say, psychics. You need to know what I'm telling them right now, because it's true. I know so many psychics and healers who have ended up very sick later in life. very sick because they did so many readings and they kind of took on the karma of the people that they were trying to heal or help. Tell someone that they're going to have this or this or that happen is actually creating bad karma for you. So consider that. Greater you become in your state of consciousness, the quicker your acts come back to you. In the Bible, St. Paul spoke of this law of karma when he said, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So if you are more aware of these laws and you do something that is not in accordance with the law, then your karma hits you faster. So when you start to become more aware, you have to be more discerning and have more self-control and not choose to say or do things or even think things that are harmful, because everything is energy. Until you come onto the spiritual path, you generally have a lifetime or two behind you that you're paying off. So you can't make the connection between what you did wrong in the past and the payment that is now coming due. So you might have a really hard situation and like throughout your whole life, and it might have nothing to do with the person that you are today, but it is debt that you have to pay. You have to pay it off. It always is the case. As you move along the spiritual path, the higher you go, the quicker it comes back. If you do something that stands between another person and God realization, you very quickly find out that you have broken a spiritual law. It comes back sometimes within a week, a few minutes, or even seconds. It comes quickly enough so that you know, this pain is the result of a lack of understanding of that spiritual law. So just to go in depth a little bit more on what I was saying, because I feel like someone might feel like, well, I'm, a reader, or I'm a psychic, or, I do Reiki. Okay, look, I read Celtic Oracle cards, but the difference is that I'm reading animal cards and I'm talking about the energy of an animal with the hope and intention that by describing the facets of such animal, plant, or angel cards, whatever, Celtic Oracle cards, whatever cards I'm looking at, I'm basically saying, here's the energy of this animal. These are characteristics of this animal, of this plant. And if something in these characteristics speaks to the person listening, then they can look deeper into themselves, because the truth is that every one of you has the right answers inside of you. There's no one who should be telling you what the answers are. It's just you, which is beautiful. You're the one who knows. So I feel that what they mean is that if someone gives away their complete autonomy to a psychic or some kind of reading, and they change their life according to what this reader said, then their whole soul contract prior to is being ignored in deference to a person, which is almost idolatry on some level. So if you are reading, it's very important to make sure you understand that. And I also would consider saying, like many do, that this may or may not be for you. If someone comes to you directly, you say, this may or may not be for you. I don't do personal reads at all. I won't ever. But when I do the Celtic Oracle cards, it just pick and choose what resonates and take a wisdom lesson from it and apply it or don't, right? But telling someone what to do is a violation of spiritual law and karma. So I hope that this helps a lot. And I will continue this karma, spiritual laws of life lesson. And there's many more videos that will follow this first one. I love you guys and have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share if you feel so called to do so. Have a good one.